issues that hasn't been raised is the global population. At the moment, there are 6.5 billion people on the planet. In 2070, that number will rise to a peak number of 9.1 billion. So just over 3,000 million people will be added to the planet over the next half century. Now,
so our 13 million looks a little paltry.
Well, just think about that. Think about the reality of this. Here we are, 22 million people saying, oh, hang on, no, we're full up. We're concerned about the fragility of the environment, and which is a legitimate concern. How realistic is it for us to be the only country on the planet to claim sovereignty over the resources of an entire continent with 22 million people in a global environment that goes from 6.5 to 9 billion? This goes to the heart of this strategic economic imperative that I think we need to have at the back of our mind, that we need to be sensitive to what is happening in the rest of the world. We can't be Fortress Australia and say, we're concerned about our environment, you worry about the rest of the world. The rest of the world, I'm not sure, is going to look favourably upon that in the middle of the 21st century.
With the time that's left for this debate, I do want to touch briefly on the issue of social cohesion. And you're talking about cultural and you're talking about equity. Can we have a mature debate? Are you confident that we can have a mature debate in this country over the next decade or so about this evolving culture that we face, well beyond the traditional white Anglo-European mix?
Well, I certainly see almost like a divided Australia going forward, metropolitan Australia and regional Australia. And in metropolitan Australia, the difference between Melbourne and Sydney and the rest is quite stark. That's the main port of entry for our migrants at the moment. And I think that if there are issues of social cohesion, the flashpoints will be in those cities. I have a very positive view about the Australian community and our inclusiveness. 40% of the Australian population was either born overseas or had a parent born overseas. I think there's a great deal of sympathy, a great deal of empathy for us as an immigrant nation.
Except that some people, once they've got here, and rather like what they've got and don't necessarily want to share it with the next round that are coming.
Look, I suppose so, but I would like to think that...
Got and don't necessarily want to share it with the next round. Except that some people are coming.
Look, I suppose...
Got and don't necessarily want to share it with the next round. Except that some people...
So, but I would like to think that...
are coming.
Look, I suppose...
Share it with the next round. Except that some people got and don't necessarily want to...